We're gonna be 10 minutes.
Alright, Dad. Hey, au pairs! We have 3 questions in one today. Do you get homesick?
You get homesick.
Do you want to go home and just leave and quit? And should I go home for Christmas?
Yeah.
And the answer to all 3 is yes!
Apart from should you just quit? I feel like that one needs to be weighed up.
True.
But if you would rather, you know, I was gonna say rather die and stay in Paris than quit. Go home, see your mum.
Get on the flight, go, quit. I think a lot of au pairs go into their year, it's their first time away from home, and they're, you know, rebellious and young, and they're like, I can do this, I don't need you, I don't need my family, bye mom, bye dad, see you in 12 months. And then you get here and you realize how, woman.
Slash man.
Slash whatever you want, yeah. You go in rebellious and then you realize it's really hard. You realize you're really homesick and you want to go home, but you can't because it would be embarrassing to go home because of how big of a deal you made it before you left. So then there's this awful, like, catch-22, yeah.
Ish.
So for me, what would have made my experience easier is if I had planned right from the get-go to come home for Christmas, because I live in the New York area, so Paris to New York wasn't that crazy expensive, and just having 2 weeks to look forward to go home, reboot, and get me through the rest of my year is so nice to have.
But it can also make you feel much more homesick, maybe.
Maybe.
Because I obviously went home for Christmas because it was about 25 euros to fly home. So yes, I went home for Christmas, but I would go home more often whenever I was feeling homesick. So I'd try and go like every other weekend, or I'd like try and go and see my friends or go back to England. I think that just made the whole settling in process so much harder because I was homesick and I would be going home, but I'd only get like a day there, and the whole time I'd be thinking like, oh, I've got to go back to where I'm going to go back, rather than just kind of getting over the initial like, oh, I hate being here.
Like
I'll
force
just
yourself to
fight
stay
it
there.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's a lot like going to university for the first time. Like, even if you live near university, you kind of want to force yourself to stay there so that you acclimate into your new environment. But going home for big breaks is really nice. So
definitely. When you've got enough time to see everyone and appreciate it, and then kind of think, oh, I do want to actually go back to Paris. If you go home for maybe 2 days, it's like, oh my god, I have to work on Monday, everything sucks.
Au pairs that don't initially plan on going home for Christmas or think they're gonna tough it out for the whole year, I know so many au pairs who went into the experience thinking they were going to be able to survive, only to end up going home for Christmas anyway, or going home later in the year. Or I know other au pairs who just left during their, you know, 7th month because they weren't able to go home and the homesickness just got the best of them.
I think what's interesting is that there has been a study that shows that most expats actually have the same experience, but people aren't really willing to talk about like how miserable you feel. It's like, oh, you live in Paris, your life can't be that bad. It's like, but I'm so lonely. I don't know anyone yet. Everything's just like you're getting used to a new city and speaking to new people, and it's a great experience. It's really good. But initially you just go through this complete phase of being alone, and then you meet people. I wish more people had talked about it, to be honest.
Yeah,
because I feel like lots of au pairs wanted to just kind of hide it and be like, my year's going so great, and then everybody slowly starts to realize like, oh no, you're just unhappy too. Okay, phew.
Me too. Help me. I guess now I get less homesick because I'm just better communicating with people, better at being honest about my homesickness, better about communicating with my family and friends long distance when I need them. And I think that I'm kind of more settled in, I still live in France now. My nomadic lifestyle. So I've created a family, created a new community and support system.
But it takes
time.
That
takes so much time. I mean, that didn't happen for me in 10 months of being in Paris. Like, that's kind of a really hard expectation.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're leaving people, like a huge community, and then you go somewhere and you're completely on your own. You just kind of expect it to just be there, but it's not. I don't know why I expected to just make friends that fast.
Exactly. But unrealistic. And you don't. And so get ready for homesick, and go home for Christmas or Hanukkah or any other religious holiday that you might celebrate.
But my #1 tip for combating homesickness is make friends. And that takes time, but once you do it, it's like, oh.
When you find your people,
yeah,
it'll help you not be homesick anymore.
For sure.
I found you. If you have tips for combating homesickness,
we'd still like to know.
We would love to know. If you have bad homesickness stories or you quit your au pair year just because of homesickness, let us know in the comments below.
You can submit as well to our website, which is aupairoparis.com.
And yeah, we would love to know your experiences. Like and subscribe our videos in our channel so that we can continue to create these videos for you.